Jerry, you are a PR expert when it comes to estate agency. Tell me a time where you've changed an estate agent's life with your content.
One springs to mind, like as soon as you ask that question, I think bang. It was an agent in Forest Hill, and we did a printed newsletter, and he was a bit, I'm not sure, because the content of the newsletter was hardly anything to do with the estate agency. It was to do with the local town, some days out in the local town, the history of a real important place in the town, and he had big reservations about it doing anything. So we printed 10,000, so he made a good commitment there. I was nervous, so I thought, I know it'll work, but you know, sometimes you think, what if it doesn't? Do you know what I mean? Come on. And it worked. It worked wonders for him. And he was only a one-man agency, and it sparked some valuations, and they turned into instructions. And I know off the back of that, he set himself up nicely. He did a really good quarter off the back of that. But it's not just those instructions. He's really good at his job. So those instructions, one instruction leads to another, to another, to another, because he's good. If he was rubbish, it goes back in reverse with Google reviews and that. So that was one occasion. In terms of PR, I am moving away from that slightly, but there was an incident we had which could have been really negative PR for one of our bigger clients, where they had a rented property to students. The students had just been partying like mad for 2 months. Now, the press had got onto them and found out that my client run that house or managed it for the landlord. And the first reaction they said was, we're just going to say no comment. I said, whatever you do not say no comment. Let me deal with it. This is what you pay me a retainer for. So basically, I know how, I'm from a journalistic background, so I know how it works. I rang the journalist, said, what exactly are you after? Who's made the complaint? When's your deadline? So working back, we came up with a good statement that was honest, and that we were going to do all we can to rectify this situation. We want the local public in that street affected to know we're going to do all we can. So we turned that negative into a positive, because people actually said, well, it was good that you were responsible enough to come out and not say no comment. So a golden rule for estate agents: if you are ever approached by the press about something negative, don't say no comment.
If an estate agent watching this in the future is approached by a local newspaper for a story, can they contact you, and how do they contact you? Almost like as not an emergency, but just to come in and sort it out.
Just ring me up, and if I've got
What's your number? Put your number at the bottom here.
Yeah.
Say the number. What is the number?
Say it. 077. Best one is mobile. 07725 554 902. Calls are charged at your local rate. You know what I mean? But
basically, if you've got a sticky situation, the press are involved, they can parachute you in.
Yeah, and the goal, if they can't,
because you're an ex-journo, so you know how journos think.
Yeah, but just don't say no comment, because the press already have a bad opinion of you. Saying no comment is the equivalent of saying we've got something to hide. Even if you haven't, you might just be saying, well,
top tip for you there, boys and girls on the stage.
So yeah, they're probably the two that spring to mind. One being a positive, and one turning a negative into a positive.
Thanks, Jerry. Good stuff.
You're welcome. Cheers.